Have you ever gotten that feeling, you look at your paycheck, you see a bigger number than last year, but somehow you feel like you're in the exact same spot financially? It's it's incredibly frustrating. And it turns out it's not really about how hard you work. Today, we're going to break down a new blueprint, one that shifts the focus from just earning more to actually owning more. Let's dive in. This quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's this frustrating loop where every single pay raise gets eaten alive by something called lifestyle inflation. A slightly nicer car, a bigger apartment. Your income goes up, sure, but your expenses go right up with it, and you're left with nothing to show for it but a faster-paced life. And that treadmill metaphor is so powerful. I mean, you can just picture it, right? You're sweating, you're putting in all the work, but your financial scenery, it never, ever changes. That is the trap. But here's the good news. Just like any machine, this treadmill has an off switch. You just have to learn a different way to approach it. So, here's the most important point. Just running faster on that treadmill, working harder inside the same old system, it's not going to get you anywhere new. The real solution isn't about logging more hours. It's about a complete fundamental shift in how you think about your money, your time, and your effort. Okay, so if the key is a new way of thinking, let's start right there. This first shift is really the foundation for everything else that's going to follow. It's about learning to think less like someone who just spends money and more like someone who owns things. This slide shows a really crucial difference. The middle-class mindset often glorifies the grind, right? Just put in more hours. But the wealthy mindset, that focuses on leverage. It asks, how can I build systems like automated investments that make money for me even when I'm sleeping? That's the real goal, building assets that work for you in the background. And this right here, this illustrates a huge pitfall. A pay raise comes in, and what's the first instinct? Usually it's a visible win, a new watch, a fancier car, and hey, it feels like progress. But the wealth-building mindset, it prioritizes invisible security, things like maxing out a retirement account or putting more into your investments. Those are the moves that build real, lasting financial muscle. So here's a super powerful rule to put this into practice. Let's call it the pairing principle. Anytime you buy a visible upgrade, like a new phone or you upgrade your car, you have to pair it with an invisible one. That means you increase your automatic investment contributions at the exact same time. It's a simple little habit that forces you to balance enjoying your life today with securing your future. The last piece of this mindset puzzle is all about your time horizon. Ask yourself, are you living in monthly survival mode, just trying to get to the next paycheck? Or are you operating in decade design mode, where every single financial choice you make today is a building block for your life 10 years from now? That perspective shift changes absolutely everything. Okay, with that owner's mindset locked in, it is time to build the engine. And the fuel for that engine? It's cash. This next part is all about creating a massive gap between what you earn and what you spend. It's about maximizing your financial velocity. Let's forget all the complex formulas for just a second. This right here, your savings rate. This is the speedometer on your journey to wealth. It's that simple. The higher this percentage goes, the faster you escape the trap. Your number one goal is to make this number as big as you possibly can. So how do you actually increase that savings rate? Well, you start with a plan. And the 50-30-20 rule is a fantastic place to begin. 50% of your take-home pay goes to needs, 30% to wants, and a non-negotiable 20% goes straight to savings and hammering down debt. It brings real intention and control to where your money is going. We have to talk about debt for a second. And I'm talking specifically about high-interest consumer debt. It's not just another bill you pay, it's an anchor. It is actively pulling you backward every single month, making it almost impossible to build any real forward momentum. So how do you cut that anchor loose? The debt avalanche method is probably your sharpest tool. You list out all your debts by interest rate, and you attack the most expensive one, the one with the highest rate, with every extra dollar you can find. Why? Because it's the mathematically smartest strategy. You're saving the most money on interest. Once that top one's gone, you take its entire payment and you snowball it onto the next one. This isn't just a plan, it's your systematic escape route. Okay, so once you've opened up that gap between what you earn and what you spend, and you've cut that anchor of debt, you now have a surplus. That's your seed capital. And this, my friends, is where the real magic starts to happen, turning your hard-earned income into passive capital that grows all on its own. This slide shows the two paths perfectly. That old cycle on the left, that's reactive. You earn, you spend, and you just kind of hope there are some scraps left over to save. But the wealth cycle on the right, that's intentional. You pay yourself first by building assets, and then you unleash the most powerful force in all of finance, compounding, which does all the heavy lifting for you over time. So where does this surplus cash actually go? Well, for most people, the simplest and most effective place to start is with low-cost index funds. See, you're not trying to pick the next winning stock. You're just buying a tiny piece of the entire market, which gives you instant diversification. And you always want to start by filling up your tax-advantaged accounts first, like a 401k or an IRA, to protect your growth from taxes. Then you can explore other things. Now here is one of the most powerful habits you can possibly build. It's called giving your retirement a raise. It's so simple. Every single time you get a pay increase, before you even see that extra money in your bank account, you bump up your 401k contribution by at least 1%. You honestly won't even feel the difference in your paycheck, but believe me, it will absolutely turbocharge your wealth over time. So, we've optimized your mindset, we've optimized your spending. Now it's time for the final lever, the ultimate accelerator, dramatically increasing your income. Because let's be honest, a 20% savings rate on a high income is infinitely more powerful than a 20% savings rate on a low one. I mean, this chart really says it all. Passively waiting around for that standard 3% annual raise, that's the slow road. The absolute fastest way to significantly boost your income is often by strategically changing jobs every few years. That can lead to 15, even 20% increases. It's about being intentional with your career. And beyond just changing jobs, you can really go on the offensive to grow your income. You can invest in skills that the market pays a premium for. You can build a side hustle. And this is the critical part. You have to commit 100% of that new income directly to your investments. That's how you avoid lifestyle creep. And always be building your network. It's often your best source for new opportunities. This really just wraps up the entire philosophy, doesn't it? It's not about doing what's normal, it's about doing what's effective. It's about making a conscious choice to build a future of ownership and security over a present of fleeting, visible wins. It's a deliberate, calculated conversion of your effort today into assets that are going to work for you tomorrow. So there you have it. That's the blueprint. It starts with a simple change in how you think, and it ends with you owning an engine of assets that grow over time. The path is pretty clear. So the only question left is the one right here. What's it going to be? What is the very first asset that you are going to build starting today?